feel like me and Chris do have sexual chemistry. You're on the wrong question, babe. Turn the chapter. You are reading the wrong book. Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. I hope everyone's doing okay and everyone is doing well. Guys, I won't lie, I could not be bothered to put my wig on today, so the bonnet is staying on, honey, and we're looking fabulous as we do. But yeah guys, I hope everyone's doing okay and everyone is doing well. As you guys know, another day, another Love Island review. A lot for us to unpick and unpack today, only because it was really the tears for me. It was really the test for me. So yeah, as I usually always say, number one, if you haven't yet subscribed, be sure to subscribe and definitely join the family. Guys, we're on the road to 30k. That is literally going to be our next milestone, which is absolutely phenomenal. So be sure to join the family. If you like coming here every single day, and also be sure to follow me on my Instagram and also on my Twitter at SarahDestinyX. And as I usually always say, please get cozy and comfy with a lovely drink. Of course, we have a hot Ribena. And let's get into today's review. So we're going to start off with not really much to discuss from the night time, because you guys know the conversation and the storyline between Joanna and Josh and Callum transpires throughout the entire episode. So the only thing we are going to speak about regarding the nighttime is the hideaway being open. Guys, I was shocked that they chose Georgia and Anton to go into the hideaway. But can I just say something? And I've been telling you guys this, and people are like, oh, Sarah, you know, you need to give Georgia H and Anton a chance. Guys, that girl is not into that man, because, not saying I've ever been in a hideaway, because clearly I haven't, but the outfit that she wore, it told me everything that I needed to know. She didn't even try. And I'm only saying that based on what other people have worn to the hideaway. You know, that's the time for you and your man. You're not, you know, you're not with the rest of the islanders in bed. You know, you're in your own space, your own room, your own area. And sis came to wear literally a two-piece. I wasn't mad at the two-piece, because for me, I love a cheeky two-piece. But just based on what other people have worn to the hideaways and how excited they kind of are when they go to the hideaway scene, yeah, it proved the point that I've been trying to tell you guys. Because some of you have been like, oh no, Sarah, Anton does really like Georgia. Anton likes Georgia. No one's disputing that. But the question is, does Georgia like Anton? That's just my thoughts. But let me know down below if you agree or disagree. We will briefly, I guess we can see, we've got Callum and Joanna. You know, he was saying in the villa, it's a very small villa. Make sure that you're very open, you know, in regards to the chats and the conversations that you want to have and everything like that. So yeah, not really much to discuss there as well, because we know it also continues to the following day. Now let's move into the morning chats. I'm getting into some of it. So of course, Georgia H was saying that yesterday was a whirlwind of the day, aka my man's favorite celebrity in the entire world came, acknowledged him, gave him a spud, and also I went into the hideaway with him as well. Of course, Chris said that he was in the dark, but you know, he's not here to relearn old lessons, and I definitely hear it. He does feel like he was in the dark with Joanna. I do feel like Joanna definitely done a 180, but she just needs to be honest. I said it in yesterday's review that Joanna has the ick. That's just the truth of the matter. So that's that. Joanna said that she doesn't feel like they are compatible because of their personalities. Now remember the key words that I'm saying, guys. Even Joanna doesn't think that they are compatible. Remember that, because at the end of the episode, it's like she completely forgot, because I actually don't know why she was crying. But anyway, she did say that she's not really sure what to do. Jess said that she's happy with Callum. By the way, guys, I really like Jess. I don't remember her much from her season with her twin sister, but she just seems really cool. I don't know. She seems really cool and chilled vibes. I really like Jess. I'm just going to say. And Callum said that he feels like he's in a bit of a pickle, because as much as he does really like Jess, also at the same time, the whole Joanna situation is also throwing him off track as well. Now, let's move on to Joanna and Arabella speaking about planting one on Callum, because obviously she found out that Jess and Callum kissed the night before. I'm going to be very honest with you. First of all, number one, the fact that Arabella is actually still in that villa, even after your ex-boyfriend came back on a show that you left 3 years ago as a successful artist, you didn't find shame to pack your bag. Anyway, second of all, she was obviously, I find, and I'll be honest, I'm going to move into this later anyway, but I just find the way Joanna is moving regarding the Callum situation just a bit weird. Like, throughout tonight's episode, she was literally just watching him like a hawk, like, oh my gosh, yeah, did you hear? Yeah, they had a kiss last night and I need to figure out what I'm going to do now to try and get that. It was, maybe I'm reading into it a bit too much. Let me know if you agree or disagree, but for me, I feel like it was just given a bit too much. No one's saying you shouldn't explore your feelings, babe. We're glad that you're doing that, okay? It is your second time in a villa and you're really trying to explore your options, but don't be awkward about it. So now she ended up speaking to Callum, and she pretty much said in her confessionals, you know, like she's not going to throw herself at him. Like, you know, he definitely needs to be the one to pull her for chats and everything. But yeah, not really much to discuss there other than the fact that I do feel like she's going yeah, she's being quite territorial over Callum, in my personal opinion, which is a bit weird because it's definitely early days. Now, we'll move on to Jess and Callum also having a conversation, and he said, of course, that he told Joanna that they kissed, and I think Jess at first was like, oh my gosh, why would you do that? And then he said, no, it's because everyone in the villa is speaking about it. So I feel like he also tried to reassure her as well, you know, I'm not trying to be too awkward here, but I have also let her know things that are going on between us. Now, whilst that was going on, Joanna, Anton, and Georgia H and Arabella were looking. And then what I found really weird was the comments that Anton was making. And Anton was very interesting in today's episode, if we're going to be very honest with you, okay? Because even towards the end, you know, the mic was definitely on, all right? But he was like, oh, yeah, don't you just feel like Callum, because Joanna was with them, like, oh my gosh, is he still speaking to Jess? I don't know why she seems to be so bothered. But anyway, is she still speaking to... And Anton was like, yeah, he is. Like, oh, look at him. He's looking a bit cocky, isn't it? How did we get from A to B? Guys, that made absolutely no sense. Oh yeah, look at him there. He's getting a bit cocky with it. Bro, he's talking to Jess. I mean, unless you like Jess, which is why you're triggered. I don't know. But I just found that really weird. Let me know if you agree, disagree down below, and if you also picked up on that as well. But yeah, Callum is literally just talking to the babe he's in a couple with. Why are you guys so worried at the fact that maybe you think he's being cocky? In my opinion, I feel like Callum is being Callum, aka, sorry, he's shown us the same personality that he had since he joined this season. But that's just me. Now, of course, they end up getting a text that tonight they're going to have a chance to discuss what they really feel about the couples, and they ended up playing a couple game in which they're going to read out questions, and every single couple pretty much has to give their answer as to why they voted for that couple for the question that was asked. And we know that Georgia and Toby were, George and Tobes were the hosts. I won't go into everyone's votes in detail because that's a lot of speaking, but we'll speak about the question itself and also the people who were actually voted and a few of the reasons why some of the islanders felt that they were worthy of that vote. So we'll start off with the first question was, who is here for love or the red carpet? Georgia and Toby got voted for. As always, you know, George, you know how she is. She always has to explain herself, like, oh, well, I think it's this, and if it was going to work, it was going to be this, and everyday explanation with that babe. Okay, every single day explanation with that babe. But I won't lie, like Casey, for me, someone tweeted that they felt like Casey was being annoying, but I actually found Casey quite entertaining today because Casey was like, well, we voted for you because if it was going to work on the outside, then it would have. And then I think either Georgia or Toby was just like, oh yeah, but we're exploring it, and if we wanted to, and he was just like, yeah, but it didn't work, so yeah, my vote is valid. Like, I feel like Casey say was actually bringing the vibes. Of course, Joe and Arabella also got voted for as well because apparently Joe is this big celebrity who wears Louboutins and all of that. And Arabella, I believe, Arabella, I believe, is a model, if I remember correctly. So maybe they are here for the red carpet. Second question was, which couple has the least sexual chemistry? Now, Chris and Joanna got voted for a lot, and we're going to get into them as well because I don't know what type of Bonnie and Clyde ish they were trying to do today. I don't know what tears Joanna was crying because you don't even like this guy. So why are you so upset at people pointing out the fact that you don't like this guy when you told people that you don't like this guy? Very interesting. But of course, Georgia H and Anton also got voted for, and majority of their reasons were the fact that, you know, once you have the ick, you can't un-ick the ick. And yeah, Georgia H had the ick. So now all of a sudden you're moving like, oh my gosh, this is my Prince Charming and I love this man so much. It's very questionable. But of course, Georgia H was like, oh, like we do have a lot of sexual chemistry. In the hideaway, we kiss. In bed, we kiss. Babe, I don't know who you're fooling, but it's not me. Now, the third question was, which couple is the most one-sided? And Chris and Joanna, of course, got voted for quite a lot. And then Chris was saying, oh, he just feels like it's unfair. And Arabella and Joe gave their vote first. We need to recognize that Arabella is also saying all the things that she's saying out of spite because she's probably still bitter at the fact that, you know, Chris doesn't even want to be with her anymore. And she's just using Joanna to get back at Chris. Let's just call a spade because it's almost like the second she has any opportunity, yeah, Chris and Joanna, yeah, babe, we can read right through you. Of course, we know that Joanna started crying, and I just didn't really understand that bit because this question was, which couple is the most one-sided? So also Casey was like, okay, babe, like, why exactly are you crying? And she was just like, because I feel like me and Chris have a lot of sexual chemistry. And then Casey said, yeah, but we've passed that question. We passed that question, babe. You're not reading the room. Are you here? Are you sure that you're sitting at this fire pit? This question is, which relationship is the most one-sided? Which clearly we know is you two based on this past 24, 48 hours that have taken place and the things that have happened. So why are you now crying, oh, I feel like me and Chris don't have sex? You're on the wrong question, babe. Turn the chapter. You are reading the wrong book. Babe, wake up, okay? Of course, Anton now ended up jumping in. Anton, like I said, his mic was on today because Chris started getting, I mean, not Chris, Casey started getting annoyed. Casey was like, oh, and Anton was like, yeah, like, it's just a game, man. Yeah, of course. But of course, Anton and Georgia H were also voted too. And Georgia H said that it was one-sided, you know, one-sided at first, but now it's two-sided. She's not fooling me, guys. I'm sorry. She's actually not fooling me. Now let's move on to the fourth question. Which couple is the least honest with their feelings? Okay. Now Georgia and Toby got voted for by Arabella, and Arabella said, obviously, like, you know, when Toby gave the speech, when randomly he decided to pick Georgia and all of a sudden they're now moving like Bonnie and Clyde. Arabella was like, you know, you could have told me that was that was muggy of you, XYZ, like you weren't honest with your feelings. And then Toby was like, okay, yo, I didn't actually know what I was going to do up to that point. And then Georgia, which is why it's very important to not speak in situations where you're actually not spoken to. Georgia was like, oh, babe, like, literally, it was a long day. And I realized that, babe, we had the entire day to speak and none of you opened your mouth. I was so blindsided by the fact that you picked another babe instead of me at the recoupling. So, very interesting. Of course, Toby ended up apologizing, and Arabella said it's nice to get an apology after 4 days. Not you counting, honey. Oh. Of course, Josh and Sophie were also voted for as well by Chris and Joanna because Chris said that, you know, Josh is my really good mate in the villa and he's a big softie and I just don't feel like he's being completely honest with his feelings. And of course, Joe and Arabella were voted for as well. Now, the final question, which is what, you know, kind of shook things up in the villa, was, I don't know why I'm so, anyway, yeah, was which couple is the least compatible? Joanna, even before the question even was asked, she was just like, just write me down. Just write me down. To everyone, just write me down. Just write me, babe, relax. Like, what's going on? Relax. I know you're very triggered at the fact that people voted for you prior, but it's actually okay. But Anton said that just for the sake of it, he's going to choose someone else, i.e., which, wait, hold on one second. Because who did Anton and... That doesn't make no sense. So Anton said, sorry, I'm looking forward on my notes based on what we actually heard. Anton was like, oh, I'm just going to choose them for the sake of it. AKA, I'm not happy with my decision, but... No, not that I'm not happy with my decision, but there's someone else I would have voted for, but just for the sake of it, I'm going to choose them. And that made me question why he ended up choosing Joanna and Chris, by the way. But why did you end up choosing them when you've already thought that they were the least compatible and everything? So who else were you going to vote for? And then you say, no, I'm not happy with my decision. Anyway, sorry, my brain is just thinking, but choosing someone for the sake of it, but that person actually being who you wanted to vote for is a bit weird. Unless they change their answers. Anyway, you guys know my drama walks in. Guys, I won't lie, I genuinely thought it was a new bombshell with the way they started panning the camera from the legs and everything. But she walks in looking stunning as ever, period. She looks really good. Shout out to her makeup artist, stylist, hairstyle, everything. She looks good. So, of course, Toby, she now comes in and she's like, hey, everyone. And they're like, oh, my gosh, no, this is serious. This is shocking. And then she's like, you know, how's everyone feeling? And they're like, oh, my gosh, like, we just thought we were playing a game. Oh, my gosh. Oh, our answers. So, one by one, she goes through each of them for them to give their answers. So, starting off with Toby and Georgia S., they ended up voting for Casey and Eve, saying that they feel like it's an inconvenience thing instead of a compatible thing, which, I mean, not an inconvenience thing. It is a convenient thing instead of a compatible thing. I found that very weird and also quite interesting, only because literally didn't Eve and her sister just arrived like 12 hours ago? So it's given cop out, and it's given cop out because, you know, maybe they're trying to stay loyal to other people in the villa. But that's just my personal opinion, because what makes you think they're the least compatible? They barely know each other. Okay. Now moving on to Anton and Georgia H. They said, mess up. Oh, mess up, mess up, mess up. He was saying, you know, he thought it was just a game and he would have picked someone else, etc., etc. And, you know, even Georgia H was just like, oh, I just feel really bad, but obviously, like, this is not even in my court. I told Anton to take lead on this, like, he should just pick for us, blah, 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 but we, you know, but essentially saying now we have to stand on business. And Anton said, you know, he has to be a man of his word. He has to take one for the team. He keeps trying to pretend to be this knight in shining armor to Georgia H, which is so interesting to me. But of course, they ended up voting for Chris and Joanna. And anything else I wrote? Yeah, Joanna obviously had some things to say, but what's really weird is, like I said before in the beginning of the episode, Joanna herself even said that, oh, she doesn't feel like they are compatible because of their personality. So if you genuinely don't feel like you're compatible because of someone's personality, that means it's never going to work, because you need to be compatible with someone's personality in order for it to work. So I don't know why she seems to be so triggered and just so upset and the crying and the tears. By default, you guys are not compatible. based on what you said and based on what you've shown us. Now let's move on to Callum and Jess. They ended up choosing Chris and Joanna. Molly and Tom ended up choosing Callum and Jess, which I didn't actually like. Not that I didn't like, but like I said, like, these people just arrived in this villa, and I actually really like Callum and Jess together. So anyway, Joanna and Chris ended up choosing Joe and Arabella, and then Jess and Callum also ended up choosing Joe and Arabella, and Arabella even mouthed to what's it called, Joanna, like, I'm going home, and she was like, no, maybe they should go home, because Arabella isn't really giving me much, I'll be honest with you. Arabella and Joe ended up choosing Casey and Eve because he said that he didn't know it was a game, and Sophie and Josh ended up choosing Arabella and Josh. Now that means that Casey and Eve, Callum and Josh, Casey and Eve, Callum and Jess, Arabella and Josh, and Joanna and Chris are the couples that received a vote. So it wasn't even the most votes, which I found quite interesting, but they received a vote. And of course, Maya Jama now dropped another bombshell for a plot twist to let them know that actually the couple, not the couple, but a girl and a boy are going to be sent home, but that decision is in the hands of the remaining islanders who weren't voted at all, which means I doubt they're going to send a couple home. They're probably going to pick a girl and a boy to leave. If they do send a couple home, I have a feeling they're going to send one of the twins home, which I think is such a cop-out move, because what is the point? Like, why would you do that? But in regards to the guy, I don't know who they're going to send home, because who's left? That's Chris, Callum, Josh, and Casey. Maybe they'll send Chris home, but I don't know. Let's see in tomorrow's episode. But yeah, the girl or boy that gets picked is going to be dumped from the island. It'll be very interesting to see who the islanders end up picking. Let me know down below who you think should go home. I actually don't know who should go home, but yeah, let's just see how it goes. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you guys enjoyed today's review. Just a public service announcement, guys. Tomorrow's review is going to be late, i.e. I'm probably going to post it on Saturday or even on Sunday, because I'm going to 3 events. I don't know what is so special about Friday. Then is it the 9th tomorrow? It's the 9th, isn't it? Yeah, Friday the 9th of February. Everyone and their mum is doing something, okay? But yeah, I'm definitely going to try and, if not film when I get back after the events, definitely film for Saturday, or also, of course, you guys know on Sunday we go on live, honey. So yeah, just wanted to let you guys know, but I'll, of course, always try my best. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. As always, if you haven't yet subscribed, be sure to subscribe and definitely join the family. And also be sure to follow me on Instagram and also on Twitter at SarahDestinyX. But other than that, I thank you guys so much for watching. Please do take care, stay blessed, and I shall see you in our next one. Bye.